Stop counting the days lost in the rhythm.
Wall Street's main indexes experienced significant gains on Friday, driven by the strong performance of tech and growth stocks and a calming of Treasury yields. The Nasdaq Composite saw its largest one-day percentage increase since May 26. This rebound followed a decline in the previous session, which was prompted by hawkish comments from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell regarding interest rates. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq had both been on their longest winning streaks in 2 years before Thursday's drop. Investors have been closely monitoring benchmark Treasury yields, which have slightly eased from 16-year highs, as well as monetary policy, to determine if the Fed will continue raising rates to control inflation or if rate cuts are on the horizon. Chuck Carlson, CEO at Horizon Investment Services, noted that the recent rally in the market may be attributed to the decline in rates. He suggested that investors who believe in the sustainability of this rally could have taken advantage of the previous day's drop to purchase stocks. Looking ahead, investors are eagerly awaiting next week's Consumer Price Index report, as well as data on producer prices and retail sales, which will provide further insight into interest rate projections. Rick Meckler, partner at Cherry Lane Investments, stated that investors generally expect positive inflation data in the upcoming reports, and they are positioning themselves accordingly. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1.15%, the S&P 500 gained 1.56%, and the Nasdaq Composite increased by 2.05%. The S&P 500 reached its highest closing level since September 19. All 11 sectors of the S&P 500 ended the day in positive territory, with the technology sector leading the way with a 2.6% gain. Mega-cap tech stocks, which have been driving the market's performance this year, also saw solid increases. Nvidia rose about 3%, Meta Platforms was up 2.6%, and Microsoft increased by 2.5%. For the week, the Dow rose approximately 0.7%, the S&P 500 gained 1.3%, and the Nasdaq climbed 2.4%. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note remained relatively unchanged at 4.62% following a jump the previous day, which was partly influenced by a weaker-than-expected 30-year bond auction. In other news, Illumina shares dropped 8% as the genetic testing company lowered its full-year profit forecast for the second consecutive quarter. Overall, advancing issues outnumbered decliners on both the NYSE and Nasdaq. Approximately 10.2 billion shares were traded on U.S. exchanges, slightly lower than the daily average of the past 20 sessions.